Hello everyone. I keep getting comments about this, so I thought I'd do a video on it, and also because the people like those air rifle myths videos, even though they weren't that well done, I thought I'd make a new one for you. And this is, can lightweight pellets break an air gun? And the answer is yes and no, so we'll go into it. Basically, with how an air gun works, this is only for spring pistons and gas rams, is that you either break the barrel or have an underlever. You basically pump that down like that. The leverage compresses a spring or a gas piston inside the air rifle to one end, and then when you release the trigger, that releases it, and it pushes, forces air quickly into a compression chamber that essentially, or it's already compressed behind the string, and then releases it down the barrel. And the reason why dry firing can damage an air gun is if you imagine you have a spring or a piston under tension, when you shoot a pellet, that acts as a force against the spring going back as quickly, because there's air resistance. Where if that's not there and it just goes straight down the barrel, the spring or the piston will slam back to one side, and that can obviously damage it after repeated, it slamming into one side because it's hitting it faster than it would if there was a pellet there. So that logic is used by a lot of people to say if you shoot a lightweight pellet, that can also damage the air gun because there's not enough air resistance behind it. And that's true and not true. Firstly, because a lot of the pellets people who have been saying that will damage the air gun, like the Prometheus pellets I've got, I'll just open those up for you, if I can get the things open. There we go. These are lightweight, so people are saying I can damage my air gun with these, right? Because they're too light. Actually, they're not. I've been researching this, and apparently it's if a pellet is below 7 grains, that's when you run a risk of causing long-term damage to the air gun with weight resistance and everything like that. However, these are about 12 grains. The 177 of these are still over 7 grains, so as long as your air gun isn't complete crap, these aren't going to break your air gun because they're still too heavy for not causing enough air resistance. And I've shot a lot of these and never had an issue. And same with these. These are cheap and cheerful pellets. I wouldn't expect good accuracy out of them, but they're also very lightweight. As you can see, they're very small lead pellets. So yeah, people have said a similar thing with these. These are lightweight. They'll damage your air gun. Well, no, because these are 14 grains, and a 177 is still above 7 grains. So no, it won't damage your air gun as long as you have a competently built air gun. And apparently it's Gammo that deserves a lot of credit, because Gammo air guns are designed with an anti-dry fire resistance, so that you can dry fire the air gun at least 1,000 times apparently during its lifetime before you start to damage internals. So even if you somehow had a pellet that was less than 7 grains, and I personally don't know anything lighter than Prometheus pellets, if you had an air gun that was shooting something that was below 7 grains, you'd still get over 1,000 shots of that before you might start damaging components inside the air gun. Because Gamma apparently have a system where even when there's no resistance to the stuff smashing back on the air gun, it still cushions it to prevent the system from breaking. So, and I've heard as air guns have gone on in time, dry fire resistance is better. So say something like this Crossman, which I bought back in 2011, 2012, I think it was January 2012. I've not taken great care of this, I'll be honest, because I'm not a massive airgun enthusiast. Basically, I like air guns, I like crossbows, I like, normal bows. So I spread, what I can afford on things around different areas. I don't all spend it on air guns. That's why I don't have a really nice, PCP air gun. Because I wouldn't get the use out of it, because I don't actually go to a shooting club or anything, I'm just in the garden, so a break barrel for me is fine. And a gas ram is a bit better than a Springer in a lot of ways, so I'll have a gas ram. But yeah, getting back to the point, is that I don't take particularly good care of this air gun, and it's lasted me. There's bits where the wood's a bit chipped, I don't know if it's a little bit there, where it's just been knocked about a bit. And I will obviously clean it every now and again, but I don't clean it as much as people who are massive airgun enthusiasts would, and I put pellets like this through it, where if you're a big airgun enthusiast you wouldn't do that, but I don't care, because when this airgun breaks I'll just buy another one. And I've been looking into sort of just buying a really cheap Springer just to see how they compare, because a few of my friends have got really cheap SMK Springers and they actually get on fine with them, so I was thinking maybe getting a BSA Springer, but that's beside the point. Anyway, the point is that with a decently made Springer or underlever or gas ram, whatever, doesn't matter, it's a brake barrel or underlever, you will not damage the air gun by shooting lightweight pellets, because it seems that every lightweight pellet is still over 7 grains. I mean, maybe there are exceptions to that, but I haven't found them yet. Lots of these air guns still have a decent anti-dry fire resistance, meaning you could dry fire the gun loads and loads and loads of times. You'd have to keep doing it over and over and over again before you damage anything inside. So no, simply using light pellets is not going to damage your air gun unless you've bought a really crap air gun.